Okay, right now, this House prefer lockdown policies decision in federal government to made regionally, e.g. by states, provinces, rather than by the central government. Ladies and gentlemen, the existence of this motion is because the pandemic attack caused by COVID-19, where the COVID-19 virus can be transmitted easily with a lot of media through such as handshake, touches, or maybe a cough, and this COVID-19 have a lot of variants and have different symptoms with that different variants. It's caused the different treatment also. What we mean with lockdown policies decision is in federal government made regionally is we give an authority to the states or provinces to make their own lockdown. Why it is so? Because we think we cannot generalize our condition during this COVID-19 pandemic. Just like I said, we can easily identify the which is the variant virus that already spread in the certain or several provinces in Indonesia. So the one that literally know about the current condition in this specific location such as provinces is their own self. I mean the regional government itself, not the central government. Three main characters on this debate. First, the central government. The central government is the one that rule the whole country, but in this case, the role of central government to make a lockdown policies is not much needed because as we know the several regional have a different needed. For example, what we need in Jakarta especially different with what we need in Banten, which is Jakarta have a high number of infection people, and also right now Jakarta fighting with a new variant of COVID-19 coming from India, Delta plus COVID-19. And comparing with Banten, which is Banten is not provinces that get a much high number of infection just like as Jakarta, but also Banten is right now doing the recovery, economic province recovery. But when Jakarta needed the lockdown as most and as fast as possible right now, but Banten didn't need a lockdown just like Jakarta. Whereas the Banten, if the Banten doing a lockdown just like Jakarta, right now, for example, just like Jakarta, the recovery, the economic recovery from provinces from Banten will be get much will be get crash and probably will be get much worse at the end of the day. The second is regional government is the one that rule the certain area, and why we think this regional government have a main role to make the lockdown on their own region, because we think that the regional government know well about their current condition against this pandemic, and because this COVID-19 have a lot of variants, also the information about the COVID-19 variants literally rapidly changes about the virus, e.g. the treatment needed or the drugs needed is a very fast change. Also, this information is important to know for the regional government, also to know by the central government. And you can imagine the hospital that the central of the information about the COVID-19 send this kind of information to the regional government, and the regional government send this information to the central government, and the central government try to identify to make a policy that depend on the information, and the central government finally made a decision to solve the problem. And it could be take a long time period, and it could be take a long time. I mean, it's probably take a long time period, and the decision making doing by the central government probably led to deliver to the central government itself. The third character in this debate is a citizen. Citizen is an actor that we should protect with our decision by the central government or a regional government. First point in my speech, the efficiency of the policies that made by the regional government. Latest cases of Jakarta COVID-19 infection number is getting much higher than before from the earlier. Anies Baswedan as the governor of the Jakarta have the initiation to make a lockdown policies. Anies know exactly the current condition of Jakarta during this pandemic, and he have an idea to make a lockdown. But in this case, the initiative made by Anies is not that work, because Jokowi as a presidential that rule the central government doesn't give him the permission to do that. The central government have too much consideration to make a policy, because Jokowi should think the condition of the whole country because before make a policy. And at the end of the day, Jokowi make a policy literally so late to prevent COVID-19 in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta. But you can imagine if the central government give an authority to the local government to make a policy from the beginning, maybe the condition of Jakarta will not much worse as right now. Why it is so? Because the governor already know about this COVID-19 attack in their region, and they have an information about that, and they really understood about the next step or the next action that should to take to prevent this COVID-19. And also, if the region have the lockdown and the lockdown made it by the regional government, we can make an efficiency the process of giving a social assistance. We can easily mapping which is our citizen that should be our priorities, and which is citizen that need our help that much. And the social assistant have a high probability to have to land in the right on target. Comparing with the social assistance that giving by the central government, it's probably distributed, but I don't think will be efficient. And we can see the phenomena about the misdirected social assistance or miss target about the social assistance that delivered by the central government right now is so much. We can see that rich people get a prioritas help by the social assistance that given by the central government instead of the poor people. Why it just happened? Because the central government didn't have much information about the citizen data, or maybe the update information that the central government needed is too late to given, because we have a complicated bureaucracy, just like I said, even on a distributed of the information sector. And the result, when the central government have a lack of information, it will be a big problem at the end of the day.